case you guys are new here, this is your first time watching one of my videos. This is my 1993 EG hatch that I have done a full chassis restoration on. Plus, under the hood here, we are doing a pretty extensive build. But inside these boxes is a ton of product over from K-Tune. If you guys don't know what K-Tune is, if you guys aren't in the Honda world, this is like the one-stop shop for anything K-Series related to complete an entire build. They reached out and they wanted to help support this build, so they sent over a ton of parts that's gonna help us do that. Now in this box here, I believe I know what this is. I believe this is gonna be the traction bar that is very crucial when it comes to building a K-Series. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. And yes, it is the traction bar. And take a look at that. This box here, it kind of spoils it and gives it away. These are going to be our race spec shifter cables with our trans bracket. So these are gonna be a little bit stiffer than the OEM cables, which I want, especially on a drag platform. Let's go ahead. Oh, these things look so nice. Yes, a hoodie and a shirt. Let's actually go ahead and throw one of these on. Damn, this is actually pretty comfortable. But there we go, now we are properly representing in today's video. There's so many goodies inside of this box. This is like Christmas tenfold. This is the best part about building cars, is almost every single day I film a video building a car and whatnot. It's like Christmas all over again because I get to unbox so many cool parts. Now in this box, I believe is going to be their lockout shifter, which I'm very excited for. At least that's what I think is in here. This is a gorgeous piece. Okay. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. This is nice. And then this piece right here is an add-on to their plate that makes this a whole one piece, so my staging brake can get mounted right here without having to have any weird adapter plates. So that gets bolted on. This is a nice, nice piece. Now, which part do we install first? I think I want to go ahead and install the traction bar. Now, this part gets installed like this. And it goes right there, give or take. But, oh, you could also angle it. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, I think that is kind of the angle we want to run. That seems like it's pretty low though. We can always adjust it later on, I guess. So there we go. We have this just roughly mocked up, but this is only half of the traction bar. Inside these boxes are going to be the arms that are going to go to each of our control arms. Now, having a traction bar is very important. One, it's going to help with like any sort of wheel hop, but also since I obviously don't have any core support, I have an aftermarket tubular one. All of our brackets for our radiator and whatnot are gonna be made off of this, and we'll have tabs welded on. But this is also gonna give our frame some extra rigidity, as this is going to be a nice little connecting point between both pieces. Now, why it's important to have a traction bar when it comes to Hondas is from factory, there is nothing that keeps the suspension from moving. So under high horsepower cars, lots of load, it will shift the suspension backwards. But with this traction bar, it keeps everything nice and intact. So that way when we launch this thing, we have better traction handling and this thing isn't shifting on us. But now let's go ahead and remove our crusty OEM shifter cables. I just had these roughly mocked on here, so it's a very simple uninstall here. And then we can now put on our race cables. Uh-oh. This cable doesn't fit. I wonder if I got the wrong cable. Now, while we wait to hear back about the shifter, either I'm doing something wrong or they accidentally sent me the wrong part, let's go ahead and start installing the dress-up components. And well, here we go. We have the K-Tuned upper housing, coolant housing installed. I did switch this over to a dash 16. I want all my lines in here to be an AN line, so it's gonna look really good. Our radiator is gonna be somewhere in this vicinity, so we'll have a nice straight line to our radiator. But I also just heard back from K-Tuned, and they did not send me the wrong cables. I put them in backwards. This thing feels so good. All right, now we need to make our way and actually start removing this motor mount, as they sent over their whole alternator relocation stuff, and it actually includes this billet bracket that will connect to all my tensioners, but it replaces the OEM mount. So we have to go ahead and remove this and get this new one bolted on. It is now the next day. We ran into a slight issue yesterday that I unfortunately was not able to fix. We swapped over to the K-Tuned side-mounted pulley bracket, but the innovative mount, it is designed for the OEM bracket. These bolts are actually an M12. The K-Tuned is an M14. This hole is not big enough to run the new hardware required, so we have to go through today. I just picked up some proper drill bits. We gotta get that thing drilled out, and then we can get the motor mount placed back on. But let's go over the coolest product K-Tuned has to offer. I know yesterday I said that this pulley bracket was my favorite, but this shifter takes the cake. As you guys saw a few videos ago, we built the transmission for this car. It is a fully built PPG dog box trans, and having a dog box in a car, obviously we no longer have synchros, so it is a dog engagement. You're way more susceptible to money shift the car, as it'll allow you to go in any gear you want. So having a lockout shifter is gonna help you prevent any issues of money shifting, so you're not destroying a very expensive motor and trans. It's just a very cheap way to make sure that you don't make a stupid mistake. Now here is the K-tuned billet shifter. This is their stock box frame. So this is the same shifter you'd get for any K-swap if you wanted to go a nice shifter route. But the differences are right here. Now this shifter right here is our lockout mechanism. With this up in the position, we can shift this car however we want normally. But when we are drag racing, we put this thing into first when we're at the line hitting launch control. We flick that down. Now we pull back second. We go to third, and now we're locked out of first and second, which we can't money shift now, and then it goes to fourth. Then we can downshift to third. We can pull this lever back up, and then we have all of our gears again. How this exactly works is when you pull this up, it shoots down this lever, which means when I pull this thing to grab a gear, it will not allow this to physically drop down. As you guys can see here, we'll disengage this, and then now we pull it over, and it's able to drop down. So that's all this is doing. It locks it out from it physically not being able to drop this thing down. Another really cool feature about the K-tuned shifters is you can actually adjust the height of the shift knob, because some people like it low, some people might like it really tall. So we have just 3 bolts that we loosen up, and we can adjust where we want the shifter. But honestly, in this position right here, it's gonna be perfect. I want to give you guys a quick little rundown of everything that I've been working on in the background. I apologize, it's been weeks since I've had a video upload for you guys. I've just been doing so many small things on this car that haven't made it justifiable to make a full YouTube video on, but we have begun the process of building our full custom engine and chassis harness. What I've been spending the most time on is on the Haltech software. I'm going through and assigning each wire to its designated purpose. So all of that is now handled. This car goes to fab in 2 days, but for sure this week it's going to fab to get the full turbo kit made. Once we get the car back, then we can start laying down our harness inside the chassis and engine bay, start terminating it. Now in 1 month, to this day, I want to have the first startup on this car, which I think is very doable. We have all of the miscellaneous, time-consuming stuff taken care of. This car, I'm shooting for probably around 2 weeks in fab. The boys are gonna do a fantastic job. I cannot wait to see the results of all their work. So that's 2 weeks. The car gets back, I'm assuming a week to finish the wiring. Brian's gonna be coming over and helping us and make sure that this harness is built properly. So that's 3 weeks. And then 1 week is to build the fuel system. I cannot wait to make this video for you guys. I have an amazing sponsor. Aftermarket Industries is building me a badass fuel system for this car. So we have to do that on the last week, get the glass and all of this small miscellaneous stuff. And then July 1st, I want to have this thing have its first startup. And I know it has been a minute. We've been building this car for so long now, but I've just been really taking my time, making sure that everything I touch on this car is done properly. But you guys are not ready for the results and the videos that we are gonna make with this car. I am so beyond excited, but oh guys, this car is getting close. But also, if you guys are wanting to see the day-to-day background stuff that I'm not posting in my YouTube videos, check out my Instagram or my TikTok. I post daily videos on TikTok with what I'm doing with the car that day. It is just a lot of small stuff that necessarily doesn't make for a good YouTube video, but I post all of that stuff on TikTok. So if you guys do miss these videos, you guys want to see a more daily interactive stuff, make sure to check that out. It is Remmy STI. I'll have it linked down below. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I am so excited for the next video. The boys over at Straight Fabrication are gonna take this car in and do a kick-ass job building probably the most badass turbo kit I've seen on one of these cars.